In the last few days, I've seen a lot of different debate on which NFL division is the best. So today we're going to put it to the test and put each position group from every division together and make sure we see who is the best division based off of the comparison between each position group to make the best overall roster. Who lands out best, who lands out worst more consistently. But before we get into this video, let me remind you, check out W.GG. Use code SHREDDER for 10% off your order. Here, I've got one of their shaker bottles. I've got, the blue raspberry flavor. Oops, excuse me. That's my favorite flavor they have so far. And it tastes great, and it's cheaper than most of your energy drinks. Check out W.GG or use the link in the description. Let's get into this video. Alright, so for this, we're going to use a tier list. There should be enough of these, hopefully. But we have a big, long list of all these different divisions. You can see it by division. So that's what we're going to do. So first off, starting with quarterbacks, right? The NFC North, Jordan Love, Jared Goff. J.J. McCarthy's what we're going to go with because he's there, even if he doesn't start game one, he's what is the foreseeable future. And Caleb Williams, right? Not a bad group, but definitely not the best, I wouldn't say. But that doesn't matter because now we have to compare them, to another division. We're going to go to the NFC South. Now, who is better? Collectively, right? So this is going to get difficult here. So you have Baker Mayfield, you have Kirk Cousins, you have Derek Carr, and you have Bryce Young. So far, I think they are worse than the NFC North. Moving to the next division, the NFC West. Stafford, Geno Smith, Purdy, and Kyler. I think that division does beat this one out. Stafford, Purdy, and Kyler all, to me, beat out just about everybody in this division. Goff probably beats out Purdy. That's the only one so far. I mean, I like Jordan Love, but I don't think 1 year's happened. We need to see more than one single year. And then finally, the last NFC one, Hurts, Jones. I'm trying to think here. Hurts and Jones, Dak, and Jaden Daniels. So I like Hurts and Dak more than the rest, obviously. So they're definitely at least here. Now, Love, Goff, McCarthy, Williams. I think Hurts and Dak put them there, but I think the three of these teams, the Rams, the Cardinals, and the Niners, keep them in this spot right there. I think that's currently our NFC comparisons. Now, we'll take the AFC North. So this is going to be a big one because they have Lamar and Burrow, two, I'd say probably top 6 or 7 quarterbacks in the league. Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson are not terrible, but are they amazing? No, but I think they're better than Daniel Jones and Jaden Daniels. So I think they're instantly there because they already have, their 3 and 4 are better than their 3 and 4, right? And then now comparing them here, Lamar and Burrow are probably better than anybody in this division. Maybe not Stafford. I'd say maybe Stafford. I think this is really tough, but the weight is different because you have 2 top guys in the AFC North and 3 middle top 10-ish guys here with Kyler, Purdy, and Stafford. So where do you put the weight? I think we're going to leave the weight to the fact that these guys, because they're so close. I think Geno is I'd probably take Russ over Geno personally. I really would. I don't think Russ was the problem in Denver. Speak your piece on that as you will, but we all got different opinions. That's fine. I think I'm going with that for now. The AFC South, you've got C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, and then 2 heavily unproven guys. I think let's see, they don't beat out Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, and Baker Mayfield, so they're there for now. The AFC East, that's Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Tua, and Drake May. So Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, I think that puts them minimum right here, above Dak and Hurts, basically, for sure. And then you have Tua. Yeah, I think that definitely puts them there. Do they beat out this division? Stafford and... No, I don't think so. Well, Josh Allen is definitely the best guy out of the 2 divisions. Then we go to Rodgers when healthy probably is better. So yeah, I'll give the AFC East the heads up there. And then finally the AFC West. So this is interesting as well because obviously they have Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league. Then they have... I think we need to look at... Hold on. So we're going to put them there for now. I think we need to look at this one versus this one. Josh Allen versus Lamar or Burrow. That's pretty big. And then you have Aaron Rodgers when healthy is probably, I'd say Aaron Rodgers when healthy is better than Lamar. And then you have Tua, who's, yeah, they're going to win this one. And then the West. So this is interesting here. Mahomes and Herbert are obviously very good, but they're very bad. Probably the worst two starters in the league are these two teams right here, the Raiders and the Broncos. I'm going to leave them. I'm going to put them here because obviously I like Mahomes a lot better than Hurts or Dak, and Herbert a lot better than Hurts or Dak. But Daniel Jones and even Jaden Daniels are probably better than Aiden O'Connell and Bo Nix. So we'll leave them there. That is our quarterback list so far. Takes a while to get through it, but hey, we're figuring out each division very clearly. While the quarterbacks may be the most important position in football, we have a lot more to go. There's a lot of a roster that can change after just this. So going to running backs, let's go straight down the line. NFC North. They got Josh Jacobs in Green Bay now, a couple good ones in Detroit. Aaron Jones is now in the Vikings, and Swift. That's a pretty good group, right? Bijan, Rachaad White, the collection of guys in Carolina, and then Kamara, they're definitely worse. You got Kyron Williams, you got Kenneth Walker, CMC, and, James Conner. I'm taking them up here just because CMC first off, then Kenneth Walker, then Kyron Williams. I mean, Kenneth Walker, Kyron Williams, are they as good as Josh Jacobs? Maybe not. Maybe they're about even. But CMC carries here. Let's be real. And then, how do they stack up? Let's see. They have, who is in Dallas? Deuce Vaughn. Yeah. Who is in New York? Devin Singletary. Yeah. Saquon and Austin Eckler. I think they go here because Bijan, Saquon, Rachaad White, Brian Robinson, that's a good combo. Nobody in Dallas. Yeah, I honestly think so. I think Saquon, even though he's as good, there's a lot more depth in the South than there is in the North. Now, the AFC North. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, the running back in Derrick Henry. Oh, that's correct. I almost completely blanked on that. Zach Moss is pretty good. What's his name? Nick Chubb. I'm going to say, assuming Nick Chubb's healthy, they're at least here because Chubb and CMC are the best two backs in the league. But now Kenneth Walker, Kyron Williams, and James Conner, Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, Zach Moss. I think this one might edge it out. There's a little bit more depth here. I'm not a big fan. I mean, James Conner's fine. He's a good player, not a great player. Najee's a pretty good player, and Jalen Warren's a pretty good player, and Zach Moss, and I like Chase Brown a whole lot too, personally. But CMC, Kyron Williams, we'll give it there. We'll leave it right there. I think that's okay. Then we go to the AFC West. Pacheco's good. Nothing special, though. Javonte Williams is good. Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. And then who is the Raiders running? Is Amir White? Yikes. There is not one running back here better than Saquon. So they're going there straight up. Then the Bills. James Cook's decent. Breece Hall's really good. You got two good ones in Miami. And then you got Ramondre Stevenson. I think they're at least here. Competing with Josh Jacobs. Let's see. Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, I think I'd take that matchup. The two good ones in Detroit, well, you got the two good ones in Miami. Then you got Aaron Jones, James Cook, and Ramondre Stevenson. I think these are pretty much a wash. I'm going to give Aaron Jones and DeAndre Swift the leg up over Ramondre and James Cook, though. That's what I'm going to do. And then who are we missing? The South, Tony Pollard and Joe Mixon, Travis Etienne, and Jonathan Taylor. So that's up here, probably. Comparing them between these two right now on each side, Jonathan Taylor is probably a little better than Breece Hall. So that automatically puts them here. I'm going to say Jonathan Taylor, Tony Pollard, Etienne. Jonathan Taylor is first, Etienne. Then Joe Mixon, then Tony Pollard, in my opinion. So Jonathan Taylor to Josh Jacobs. I think I take JT. Next best running back would probably be. There's the two in Detroit. I'm gonna give the NFC North the benefit of the doubt because of their depth. They have that going for them. Let's go ahead and go to wide receivers here. We'll go in the AFC this time. The best receiver on each team. We're kind of gonna start there. You have you have D-Hop, you have Diggs now, you have Christian Kirk, and you have Michael Pittman. Okay, whatever. Let's go to the North. You have Amari Cooper, you have George Pickens, you have Zay Flowers, and you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And Jerry Jeudy's here too. I think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and George Pickens kind of carry here. Those guys are a little bit more high end than anybody here. D-Hop formerly was, but not so much anymore. They get a little bit of a leg up, right? Then the AFC West, right? You have Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice. You have Cortland Sutton. You have Devontae Adams. You have A bunch of young guys in LA. I think we're going to leave that right there. And up here we've got Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman, Garrett Wilson, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. That's a big carry there. And then Kendrick Bourne. They're definitely at least here. Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill is carrying on this group, and he's going to put them at the front. Now going to the NFC. Starting here, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Amon-Ra, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Okay, we're getting a lot of weight there. Justin Jefferson, they're going to the front. And Jordan Addison, on field. If he stays on field, he'll be good. Drake London and who else? Jonathan Mingo and Adam Thielen and Chris Olave, Mike Evans. Pretty good group. I think they're probably here. Chris Olave, Mike Evans, Deontay Johnson's there now. Drake London, Zay Flowers, Amari Cooper, George Pickens. I'm putting them just behind here. I think that's fair. I think I'd take Jamar Chase over Mike Evans, and the rest kind of funnels out through there. And then the NFC West, we have Ayuk for now, Debo. Then you have Cooper Kupp and Puka. Then you have DK and Tyler Lockett and J.S. Sin. And then you have Marvin Harrison Jr. I think they go at least here. Tyreek Hill. Yeah, they have so much depth here. Debo and Ayuk, right? Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. DK. They have 5 guys here easy. And you've got maybe 3 or 4 here. So, yeah, we're going to do that right there. And then the last division is this Eagles one. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, that's pretty heavy. Just to one team. CeeDee Lamb, okay. Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, okay. Terry McLaurin, all right, I think they're at least here. Because you've got, Tyreek's pretty good, but you got CD and A.J. Brown, right? CD and A.J. Brown, I think they're the best 2 out of this whole division. Tyreek's better, but they have a lot of weight there. They're very close. Then you have, who is the best receiver here? Probably either Ayuk or, I'd probably go Ayuk or Cooper Kupp first. I mean, just even though he's not so much last year, but he's still got the name to him. But I think we take CD over that. CD and A.J. Brown. I think so. Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. All right, they have a lot of depth in really, really good spots. So that's how we're going to be our receivers, right? It's a very deep group there in the NFC North. I know this is going to be kind of a longer video, but we're really detailing into these position groups here. So make sure you just stick around, see who the best group is at the very end. Going to tight ends. Luke Musgrave and Laporta, Hawkinson, Kmet. Pretty solid group there. We got Pitts, we got Otten, Juwan Johnson, and Hayden Hurst. They're definitely worse, for sure. We got, who is even the tight? Noah Fant, that's who it is. Tyler Higbee, Kittle, and McBride. I think they go up to the front so far. Kittle has a lot. Hawkinson, Kmet, Laporta is pretty heavy. We're going to leave them up there. I like Kittle overall, but they have a lot of depth of really, really, really good players. You got Goddard. You got, who do they have at tight end? Darren Waller retired. They have that Bellinger guy. I feel like I'm missing somebody they may have just gotten. Like it got just in the draft or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm missing it. Zach Ertz and Jake Ferguson. Definitely going to go right here. I like Goddard, but that's about it. Everybody else is, replaceable probably. The AFC North. Njoku, overrated, but decent. Pat Freiermuth, Mark Andrews, Irv Smith? Is that their tight end? I feel like they have somebody new now. I'm going to put them here. They got a little bit more depth than this division. And that's pretty solid, right? Not amazing, but pretty solid. The AFC South. The Titans have Chigakonkwo. They've got Dalton Schultz, Evan Ingram, and Jelani Woods. Probably here. Really bad group of tight ends outside of basically Kyle Pitts. Juwan Johnson's a fine player, but he's nothing special. The AFC West, obviously you have Kelsey, excuse me, Kelsey. And then you have Brock Bowers is a new one. You have Dulcich, and there's another guy there, but Dulcich is their 2 now. It's Adam Troutman, I believe. And then Will Dissly's their best one. That's really bad. I mean, they get over him just because of Kelsey. But Evan Ingram and Dalton Schultz probably have more weight than just Kelsey alone, because the rest of this might as well be nothing. It might as well be. Wow, that's shocking. Surprising. With how good Kelsey truly is, with him being way back here, that's impressive. Impressively bad, really, but that's what it is. Up here, you have Dalton Kincaid, and Dawson Knox. You have Tyler Conklin, you have Durham Smythe, and you have Hunter Henry. That's a pretty solid group. I'm going to put them here because Ferguson's fine. He's replaceable. Goddard's pretty good, but you have Kincaid, Conklin's solid, Knox is solid, and then Hunter Henry's pretty good. So I'm going to leave that right there. I think that's fair. Now, all right, now moving to O-line groups, right? Out of this group, the Vikings have a good O-line, the Lions have a good O-line. The Bears is average, the Packers is lower tier-ish. They're not terrible, but they're not great, right? Really good running O-line in Atlanta. Solid-looking O-line now in Carolina. Rough in both of these. We're leaving that there. I'm not really sure what to think about Seattle's. They're okay. They're about average. Rams are decent-ish. Cardinals is pretty bad. And other than Trent Williams, but he does carry a lot of weight, we're going to put them in the middle here. They're decent, not amazing. And then Eagles have a good line. Giants line, theoretically on paper, looks good, except, what's his name? Evan Neal decides to be terrible. The Commanders have a pretty bad line. The Cowboys line got a lot worse this year. They're going to get up here basically just because of the Philly carry, but that's about it. Go to the AFC. Browns have a good line. Steelers have a good line. Ravens' line's okay. Bengals' line's okay. I think they get up probably to here, at least, because, I mean, you've got, decent, You've got good, really good, kind of good, meh. And then over here you got meh, good, probably really good. Lions probably have the best line in the league. Good. Yeah, I'll leave that there. Bears line's decent. Bears line's underrated for sure. People think it's way worse than it is just because Justin Fields stinks. Anyways, Titans line's bad. I don't think Latham's going to improve it very much either. Colts line's good. Texans line's okay. Jaguars line's not great. I think we put them here because we've got a couple good ones in there. Then you've got the West. The Chiefs line's pretty good. The Chargers line will be better with Harbaugh. The Raiders line's better than people think it is, and the Broncos line's okay. I think the Eagles have a good line, but the whole division-wise, they do win out just a little bit. And then this division. The Bills line is iffy. Jets line looks decent on paper. We'll give them that. Dolphins line needs some work. Patriots need some work. They're probably going to up here because I don't think any of them has as good a line as Atlanta, and they're all Jets on paper could, but they're not going to stay healthy. I think we like what that is. D-line. Steelers, let's go over here. Steelers, obviously, we're including edge rushers. They don't count as linebackers. The scheme does kind of depend on here, but like the D-line for the Browns is really good. They have Myles Garrett. They have, Zadarius Smith. They have, what's their D-tackle's name? I just blanked entirely. I don't know. Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith. This probably is the best entire D-line group in the league, honestly. The South, none of these D-lines stand out to me. Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter is good, but the interior's not so great. They're definitely not enough here to carry over the AFC North. The Bills, Greg Rousseau, Epinesa, Von Miller, if he's healthy. They've got some, Ed Oliver's decent. Quinnen Williams is decent. They've got some edge rushers as well. Matthew Judon, Barmore. The Dolphins are a big killer here. They're definitely going to get here, but I don't think they get over the monster that is the AFC North here. And then the last division here is the West. We got Chargers D-line is on paper pretty decent. Chiefs D-line's pretty good. Broncos D-line is not very noticeable. And they got Crosby, they got Kuntz. I'll put them at least here. Let's see, comparatively. I think that's good because there's a lot of decent, but there's not a lot of great. We got a good bit of decent and a little bit of great too. So more great here than great there. That's what I'm kind of going with. NFC wise, you got the Packers. Their D-line's okay. They're pretty good. The Lions is decent. They got better for sure. The Vikings got worse. The Bears could be better. We'll put them here. I think they have enough to get over this division. Chiefs is not really the most. Chris Jones, Joey Bosa. Yeah, we're going to have to move that back. We'll leave it there. The NFC East, Eagles have a pretty good line. Pretty young, but pretty good. Giants have a pretty good line with Dexter Lawrence and, Burns especially coming in and Thibodeau. Commanders have a good line. Cowboys have a good line. All right, they're going to go up to about, we'll move them to here for now. Are they better than this division? Quinnen Williams, Ed Oliver and all the edge rushers here, Hassan Reddick and Greg Rousseau, Von Miller, Brian Burns, Micah Parsons. I think we're going to move them up right here. TJ Watt, Myles Garrett. What's the dude's name that just blew up this past year? He's more of a D tackle. He's more of a defensive end, bigger guy. I don't remember his name. Wow, I am completely blanking. He had like 15 sacks this year as a D tackle nearly. The Bengals have a good one. I think that's fine. And then the NFC South. Let's see. I'm thinking here. Nothing stands out here at all. Nothing really stands out here at all. You got Cam Jordan. You got Grady Jarrett, for what that's worth. Vita Vea. We might get this far. Actually, no, I don't think so. I think we get about there. That's about all we get. And then the West. Boye Mafe, and they got a really good interior in Seattle, but not a good Uchenna Nwosu, Boye Mafe is not a good edge pairing. A lot of young guys in LA. Nick Bosa, they get Leonard Floyd this year. They're decent. We're moving up to about here so far. Are they better than this division? Aiden Hutchinson, Van Ginkel, and what's the guy's name from Houston? They just got Montez Sweat's decent. Packers have a good collective line. I think we get a little bit more star power here, so we're going to get them to here. But I think that's where they're going to have to stay. You lose Aaron Donald, which is obviously a big loss. Arizona is a non-factor. Nick Bosa's pretty good. Obviously, they have a couple guys on that D-line elsewhere. Leonard Floyd, really solid as well. And then the interior in Seattle's decent. I think we're leaving it there. There's more star power with Max Crosby, Joey Bosa. George Karlaftis is pretty decent. I think we're leaving it there. That looks pretty good to me. Going to the linebacker units, this is specifically off-ball, right? So you have Devondre Campbell, you have Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, you have Van Ginkel does a little bit of all, Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards. That's a pretty good group, right? Pretty good. Then you have not a lot. Shaq Leonard. That's about it. I mean, not a whole lot of great guys here. There's some decent, Pete Werner and whoever else, but nothing that stands out to me. Then you have Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner instantly going to pull them up all the way to the front. That's just one team. That's one team. You've got Jordan Brooks is gone. Who did they get? They got Jerome Baker. They don't have that many great linebackers in Arizona. Zayvon Collins does a little bit of everything, but he's on the edge primarily now. Ernest Jones is decent, but not amazing. I think we'll still leave it there. And then you got Devin White in Philly now. For what it's worth, not a lot. Micah Parsons moves around. Give him a little bit of credit for that, but not a ton. You got Okereke. It's really solid there. I think we're going here. Who we got better here? Campbell and Tremaine and Edwards. I think that's good. I think that's good for the NFC. Then you've got a lot of linebackers here. JOK, Patrick Queen, and what's the other one? Roquan Smith, Cole Holcomb. All really solid. Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt. Do they beat out this division? So take out Roquan, take out Fred Warner. They are basically equals, basically. Patrick Queen and JOK versus Dre Greenlaw. I think the depth here wins it out. Plus Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt. Cole Holcomb's there as well. It's a pretty solid group in the AFC North. The AFC East, you got Milano. That's a big one. You got CJ Mosley. You got the other Williams, Quincy Williams. They have Jordan Brooks now. I don't know who's in New England. Jelani Tavai. It's a decent group. We're going to give them all the way up to here, but that's about it. And then you got Nick Bolton. Alex Singleton is pretty solid. Robert Spillane had a really good year. We're going to move them up to about here. I think that's good because there's not a lot of great here, but there's a couple decent guys. But the Packers have those Campbells up here on the top. They got the two guys in Chicago are pretty good. That's where we're going to leave that one out. And Titans, not a lot. Jack Gibbons, that's funny. Aziz Al-Shaair. Foye Oluokun's pretty good. Zaire Franklin's pretty good. We're going to put them here. Are they better than these guys? Spillane and Singleton and Bolton. I think Foye Oluokun, Zaire Franklin, and Aziz Al-Shari, they might just get a little bit above this group. But these are very, very close in those two divisions. Go ahead and go to secondary. Just secondary across the board. Safeties, corners, all alike. Jerry Alexander, really good. Lions have a better secondary than they used to. Vikings are decent. Bears are... Vikings could be better. Bears are decent. Jalen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Tyreek Stevenson, and Kyler Gordon, excuse me. We've got the NFC South, AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates. That's pretty heavy. Tyrann Mathieu, Paulson Adebo, Marshawn Lattimore, Jamel Dean's good. Winfield's good. Oh, yeah, they're winning this one. They just are. That's a good little group there. Then you've got the NFC West. What are we looking at here? So you've got Ward and Hufanga and Jair Brown. You've got Budda Baker. You've got John Johnson's back. They got Trey White now. Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen. They're definitely here. Do they get any better? I don't think so. I think this division wins out so far. The NFC South does. In Philly, you got the two rookies, DeJean and Mitchell. You got Slay. You got CJ GJ back. That's a really good group in Philly. New York has the rookie from last year, Deontay Banks. They have a couple, Penix, a decent safety, and then they lost McKinney. Ooh, I did forget about McKinney in Green Bay. Does that change anything over here? I don't think so. Jalen Johnson, McKinney, Harrison Smith's decent. Byron Murphy, excuse me, not Byron Jones. Budda Baker, Hufanga, Witherspoon. Well, I don't think so. And then the Commanders, they have Cam Curl's really solid. They got, Diggs and Deron Bland. I think they'll get to here. Sadly, the NFC North falls to the back, even though they have a really good group anyways. These are just a lot of good secondaries. The AFC North, you have, in Cleveland, really good secondary. I mean, they got a lot of good guys. Ward, Delpit, Martin Emerson, what's the other one? Newsome. Their other safety's good. I can't think of who it is right now. Steelers have a decent secondary in Joey Porter Jr., Minka Fitzpatrick, Kyle Hamilton, Dante Jackson's in Pittsburgh now. Kyle Hamilton back here. Marlon Humphrey, excuse me. That's a really good group. I think we're pushing them up here. Do they beat out Winfield Bates? J.C. Horn, Lattimore, Adebo, JPJ, Minka. 4 or 5 guys in Cleveland are really solid. Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton and Marcus Williams. Actually, I think the AFC North is going to win that one. The AFC North's killing the defense right now. And then the AFC, what are we looking at? AFC West. Derwin James is solid. McDuffie's good. Broncos. Patrick Surtain. I was blanking out there for a minute. That's about all they have. They got Trayvon Moehrig, and they've got Nate Hobbs are decent. I think they'll get to here. I'm not really too fond of that group. Over here, you got Jamal Adams now in Tennessee. You got Derek Stingley's really solid. You've got, what's his name? He's a good tackler. Tyson Campbell. Kenny Moore. Juju Brents. Not a great group there. I'm honestly probably leaving them at the back. I feel like there's somebody I'm missing in like Tennessee, but I think they're still going to stay at the back. I don't think they got a lot going for them, really. And the AFC East. You got Poyer and Hyde are now set. Where are they at? Hyde's a free agent. Poyer's in Miami. You got Sauce, and you got, Christian Gonzalez, and you got Rasul Douglas. It's solid. I think they're at least here. Are they better than McKinney and whoever else they got over here? I don't think so. I think that's where we're going to end up there. And for our final one, this one's going to hold a lot of weight too. The coaching group, right? So, starting the AFC, Andy Reid, obviously great coach. You got, what's his name? Harbaugh coming back. He's a good coach. Probably the best first-year coach there could ever be because he's been here before, obviously. You got Adrian, what's his name? The guy, AP from Adrian Pierce from Antonio Pierce. Adrian. I knew Adrian sounded so off. He's not proven. And then the Broncos, Sean Payton. You got two coaches here that are though they might struggle, they have really good tenures behind them. Tomlin, Harbaugh, Stefanski's been really, really good. I think this one's going to win out because Antonio Pierce ain't. Antonio Pierce and Sean Payton versus Harbaugh and Zach Taylor. And I think Zach Taylor really strongly beats out Antonio Pierce, and we're going to give him that one. We got McDermott, we got Saleh, we got McDaniel, and we've got Mayo. They're staying at the back for now. And then you've got Callahan, you've got D'Amico Ryans, who's really solid. You've got Peterson, who's a good coach, and you've got Gannon. I think they're staying here because I like McDermott, McDaniel more. I like Ryans, but Peterson's pretty good, but everything else is probably not that great. All right, you got Sirianni, you got McCarthy, you got Dan Quinn, and you've got Brian Daboll. I liked, personally, Sirianni, and I think he's a decent coach. We got to see more from him, but he's also taken a really good team to a playoffs and won games, and that does matter. That does. That does not happen for D'Amico Ryans. That matters. Daboll is pretty good. The rest of this division's kind of iffy. McCarthy's at least won before. I'm giving him a little benefit of the doubt there. And Dan Quinn's won before. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt there too. So, yeah. You got Shanahan. Great coach, right? You got... who's there now? Mike McDonald. We don't know anything about him as a head coach. We've got McVay, really good head coach. We got Gannon. We've seen a lot from this division. We're going to go at least here. We're going to go here. I think that's good. Then you've got Eberflus, you've got O'Connell, you've got LaFleur, and you've got Dan Campbell. They're going about here for now versus McDermott, McDaniel. They're going here. That looks good. And then the South, you've got, who's the coach down here now? Raheem Morris and Dave Canales. Not a great start. This is the worst division by far on coaches. That doesn't matter at all. So now I'm going to tally up where these teams land based off a point system, right? If you are in the first slot, you get 8 points because there's 8 different divisions, right? And then I'm going to go all the way down, and we're going to see who totally wins this by numerical value. Just before we get to the final results, just taking a look at the graph and seeing what you can see. One thing you can tell is the NFC South is one of the worst, definitely, because you see them here, 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 and here. They're only above 6th place once, and that's cornerback safeties, and that's carried by, Winfield and Bates and Terrell and Marshawn Lattimore and all that. Other than that, you do see a big trend of the AFC North right here, winning in the entirety of defense and coaching. No shocker there, really. And then they're pretty prominent throughout the top of the offense as well. The Packers do have I say the Packers the top team I see, but the NFC North has the 3 straight here, wide receiver, tight end, O-line. Kind of crazy there, but those are our trends. Let's get to the true results. Here are our results with the total tallies for what this team did. The NFC South firmly loses by nothing close. It's really, really, really far off. The AFC South is not far behind, and slowly it ticks up all the way to the AFC West, who shockingly, to me, I did not think they'd finish that low. They finished 6th. The NFC East finishes 5th. The AFC East finishes 4th. And going to our final results, the AFC North is the full winner. They get the defense carries a lot, and not to mention they do have a lot of help elsewhere. But that is going to be the numerically best chosen way to figure this out. Now, there is some personal opinion in this because I did decide, hey, Justin Jefferson's better than Tyreek Hill or something like that. Obviously, that's just an example throughout the graphing, the charting of it. And maybe you disagree. But if you do disagree, let me know down in the comments below who I missed. Maybe somebody that would have swung things if I did just forget about somebody. Or if there's any difference you would have. Either way, thank you guys for sticking around to the end. Check out dubby.gg and use my code SHREDDER for anything off their website. And also, I'll see you all in the next video.